Heard you.
Boom shaka laka. You already know the vibes. It is Saturday. It is Knicks versus Nets. Who run the city? Tea time, big
Yeah.
and breezy. We
Hmm.
are in the building. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So
Yeah, we
what's
yeah.
good?
Happy belated birthday, man.
Oh,
You
thank you,
and
sir.
Kev.
Thank you. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Kev, my PIC. Happy birthday to the Brody. You know what I mean? And myself. You know what I mean? That's why we're a little bit late, because boy had a little bit of a hangover.
Mhm.
But I'm good now. Yeah, so it was good. What would you try to talk about today?
I mean, they calling me late fan breezy. I explain my laptop needed to is going through something, and I'm just restarting it now. So hopefully I could get to it. But shit, man, Melo retired, man. Shout out to Melo, man. As y'all know, like I said, and this is funny with Fluky the other day on Facebook. I was saying, and this is true for me. I remember Melo being on the Knicks, and I don't remember his teammates. Because I really wasn't a fan of the team. I really like Melo. I know he was from New York. I know he played for Syracuse. But anyway, I had asked Fluky, I said, do you remember the teammates he had? And he named them. And he was just like, yo, I'm mad I just did that. But shout out to Melo, man. He had a great career. 19 years is nothing to sneeze at. He played a portion in his career with the Knicks, but he played a big portion with Denver Nuggets as well. You see the Denver Nuggets going to the finals. The irony of the draft pick that the Denver Nuggets got in Jamal Murray is from that trade with the Knicks, with Carmelo Anthony coming to New York, and that pick back to Denver is Jamal Murray, the number one seventh pick in a first round draft. So yeah, what up, Brock? Work? Yeah, what's goody? Yeah, shout out to J1, shout out to Kev, shout out to all the Knicks fans, shout out to the Nets fans, and big respect to Carmelo Anthony, man. He did a lot for the NBA. My dude sent me a clip of him saying, "Get the fuck out of here!" Every time he get a rebound, he jump up, he like, "Fuck out of here!" And I seen a whole compilation of that. That was funny. And nobody really talk about it with Melo, but I guess I'll bring light to it. I think he was one of the most with the jab step. He had this jab step jumper, like he just needed a little bit of space, and that's all he needed to knock down the jumper. You know what I'm saying? Melo was nice. And when he was on Denver, he played great basketball too, a great brand of basketball before he got to the Knicks. Dunking on people, you know what I'm saying? He did whatever he wanted on the offensive side of the ball. And I wouldn't say he was known for this stellar great defender, but he was unstoppable. So yeah, man, big respect to Carmelo Anthony, man. We like
Yeah. Yeah, Melo was that guy, man. I remember when we traded for Melo, I was hyped. I remember his first game in the Garden. I was hyped. I was watching it on TV, the whole spectacle of, you know, how they had the whole "I'm Coming Home" song playing, and the montage and all that. It
yeah,
was a dope time. You feel me?
he played for Syracuse, yeah.
Melo Melo number seven in it all time in scoring. Yeah, I mean number seven all time. He's the seventh. He has the seventh most points in NBA history, and that's with him being black. He could have easily been top five if they didn't blackball him
Mhm.
after his stint with the Knicks. Uh, and Melo, uh, Denver Melo was crazy. Don't
Mhm.
sleep on Knicks Melo, because Knicks Melo was crazy too. 62 points in the
Nah, he had
Garden.
this. Yeah, yeah. Nobody sleeping on him.
62 points in the Garden. It was just unfortunate that we weren't able to build a appropriate team around him
Hmm.
to get him to the promised land. The best team that he had was a team full of guys that was ready to retire and stat. Uh, and I do firmly believe if that team, if those older guys didn't start getting injured, could have at least made it to the finals, because Chauncey Billups, even at his own age, was playing at a high level. Jason Kidd, Rasheed Wallace, Kurt Thomas, even at the end of the season when it was coming down to us, making our little playoff push, was giving people work. Kurt Thomas was giving people work at the end of the season, and he was carrying, because I think Melo got hurt, and he was ended up carrying us into the end of the season. Uh, but it was unfortunate that we never got to build a team around him. Uh, I still hate, Phil Jackson for what he did to Melo, and how he tried to.
Yeah, Brock work. Yeah.
You know why he would have had a retired jersey because y'all ain't used to shit. That's why. Um,
So
so
it's been great.
so
That have been
back to
dope.
what I was saying. Um, yeah, I'm still mad at Phil Jackson for what he did to Melo and the stain that he tried to put on. Good looking Barry. The stain that he tried to put on Melo's jacket. Not try because he did put a stain on Melo's jacket. Tried to make it seem like Melo couldn't play in this new updated version of the NBA when he absolutely could, and people fed into that, and that led him to being blackballed for like 2 3 years, 2 years. Uh, but let's not let that take away from how great of a basketball player Melo was. I think Melo absolutely should have been on somebody's roster this season because there's a lot of bums there's a lot of bums that what you call it that got roster spots that shouldn't have a roster spot over Melo. But shout out to Melo for calling it a career. Shout out for being a great Nick. You know what I mean? It was dope to watch you play in the Garden. You gave us amazing moments, like those two or three back-to-back three-pointers in the Garden at the send to pack Chicago up. You feel me? Like I have a lot of fond memories with Melo in the Knicks jersey, and congratulations on a great career. You feel me? I can't wait to see if your son turned out to be anything like you, because I've been watching his kid, man. His kid got a little game to him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, word.
Yeah, I
And
like the fact that he's in his son's life, involved in the coaching. Coach dad, he's a coach dad, and I like to see that. Respect to Kobe Bryant and Gigi. I've seen a lot of that there as well. But I see it in Carmelo's son. I ain't gonna lie. I would really consider him one of those players that is going to be sought after because he is Carmelo's son. You know, he gotta. I think he wants to play basketball and loves basketball because he is Carmelo's son. Like, it's in his DNA to play the game. He love the game. And I think he will be a great player. I'm not gonna front. Word. So shout to him. I think his name is Cayenne, something like that.
yeah, his game is
Um,
his game is like real similar like his pops. Like the way he shoot, the way he approached the game. I don't think he's not as strong as his pops was because his pops was like a lot heavier than him. But it is similar game. The way he attacked the game is very similar to his pops, man. It's dope to see. You know what I
why
mean? But
Kev said Knicks fans shitted on Melo?
Nick fans, listen, Nick fans are never satisfied. You feel me?
What's
And
the
that's
furthest Melo took the Knicks? Because it was his
once
team if he was on the team.
to the second round.
Second
Second
round.
round.
Okay.
Yeah. We lost the what you call it to the Pacers. Uh yeah,
How
we
many
lost
times
them
y'all went to the second round with Melo?
once. Once.
Okay.
Yeah, we made the playoffs twice with Melo, and we made it to the second round once. And that's when we 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 ended the Celtics Big Three dynasty that year. We went to the second round. The next year, all those guys was gone. KG, Paul Pierce, all that. Uh, the first time we made the playoffs, we ran into uh the Big Three Miami with Braun, Wade, and Bosh. We ran into those guys.
What
Our
happened?
first we got washed up. Like I ain't even mad at that. Like it's LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. Like nobody. I feel like, and to watch those guys get beat in the finals by the Mavericks kind of made me mad because I'm like, why y'all wasn't playing like this when y'all was playing against the Knicks? Yeah, but nah, Melo. And then after we made it to the second round, a lot of the guys, like I said, a lot of the older guys that was on our team that helped us get to the second round retired. Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Jason Kidd, all those Kurt Thomas, all those guys retired that very next season. You feel me? Or that after we got bumped from the playoffs, they retired, and we just never could bounce back and build a sufficient team around Carmelo Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony was playing with a whole bunch of G leaguers for real for most of
Mm-hmm.
his stint with the Knicks. And then you have to add in the fact that Phil Jackson was trying to force the triangle offense on Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks. Hiring Jeff Hornacek as a coach was a horrible idea. No, Derek Fisher, then
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Hornacek. Those were two horrible ideas. Uh,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
and and
man.
and it just never worked out after that. And then Phil Jackson did his best to pack Melo up, and he succeeded. You feel me? And then he got
So,
fired right after.
so, in your opinion, do you think that as his time as a Nick was the best he did in his career? Because the way I got it is Denver first, Knicks second,
Yeah,
and then whatever.
nah,
But that's
he definitely went further with the
the
Nuggets,
Nuggets. Yeah.
but I also feel like he had better teams with the Nuggets. You got to remember he was playing with
Mm.
Allen Iverson at one point. And he was
Right
playing
in
with Allen
Denver.
Iverson. He was playing with
Mm.
Allen Iverson at one point. Like,
That
and
was
he had
exciting basketball. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, so yeah, definitely he had more success with the Nuggets. Yeah, I mean, just because it was just better teams, and even though George Karl is a jerk, he's still a better coach than Derek Fisher and Jeff Hornacek. You feel me? It, it just it just is what it is. You feel me? It is what it is. Yeah, I
Nah, I
mean, but
mean, and that's the thing. Like, I hear you say it is what it is, but because it's Melo's retirement is the reason why I bring it up, and yet to pick the stuff that y'all seen about me being Nick Fan Breezy and stuff and like that. So I'm just like I said, I'm not dodging no smoke. We both teams that's in the off season. Like, yeah, we not gonna be here for long. We'll talk about the finals. We're gonna get to the playoffs and all that, but I just wanted to address some things because I hear things. Um. Melo is an excellent player, and he did play with AI. And I agree with you, T. Tom. That is his best number two guy. When you think about a tandem and your two guy, AI was the best two guy Melo ever had, ever. You know what I'm saying? His situation as number one guy to number two guy.
I think one season they both was averaging like over 30 points a game in the same season.
Yo, they was playing basketball, bro.
Yeah,
Like, trust me, they was ringing bells. And Denver wasn't one of those places that rung bells before Melo, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I mean,
no,
of course, you got.
they had some good teams in the old days, man.
Now, I'm not saying they didn't, but this season is the first season they went to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They never been to the finals before now. And again, I reiterate, far as what you said about him not having nobody around him. And again, I wanted to push back because I feel like G League is getting a bad rap because I'm seeing ball clubs starting to put talent in the G leagues to develop their talent and maybe bring them up. After that, I seen it with Wiseman, I seen it with Poole, I seen it with even Clay Thompson at one time, but not serious with Clay Thompson, but just to get some rec. You know what I'm saying? So case in point is I think when we say G leaguers, we looking at it in a not a negative connotation, but not as talented. And there's some truth to that, but because of what Miami Heat is doing right now, I kind of want to say that talent is talent, and the right ball club makes more. How you say? There's more value in having a right system than quote unquote talent, whether it be G League or drafted or undrafted, because these players that's in the finals, I mean the conference finals with the Miami Heat, a lot of them are undrafted. So you think about Miami culture, their system, and I gotta give credit to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say the Knicks didn't have a good culture around Melo. You know what I mean? For to help him be to accelerate him in his career to get past the second round. So that's not really a shot to Melo. It's just like that sometimes. I heard Wiggins complain about the Wolves ball club, and I heard more complaints about players leaving ball clubs. And you've seen examples of them going to other teams and excelling. So I don't want to say that Melo going to the Knicks was a step down from Denver, but I don't know, man. It's debatable to say who's one or two.
So this is what this is my pushback on what you're saying about the G Leaguers. You feel me? Like there are always exceptions to the rules. Like what the players on Miami are doing, they're the exception to the rule. The exception to the rule don't mean it's the rule. You feel me? Like what you seeing from
Okay.
them is not common. You feel me? That's why
Okay.
everybody's so shocked at the play that they're having, and that's why they always keep on mentioning the fact that these guys are undrafted. That's why when Fred Van Vliet played, they always mention the
Right.
fact that he's undrafted because players normally don't come from the G League or be undrafted and be good. Like it's very
Sure,
few and far.
transition their game. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very few and far between. You feel me? And you mentioned Wiseman. Wiseman, it was looking like a bust. That's why they sent him to the G League because
I think it's the system. That's my
he
pushback. I think it's Miami culture that you know what I mean behooves
Wiseman,
these players.
Wiseman was drafted. He was a high draft pick. If I'm not, I think top three if I'm not mistaken, right? And he wasn't fulfilling his potential, so they sent him to the G League. But for most times, G leaguers don't come up to the NBA level and have success. You feel me? So when I say that they put Melo around G leaguers, those were the guys that are the rule. The guys that are not good enough to be in the NBA, but are on the
Mhm.
NBA team and wasn't able to help Melo get past where he needed to go, or even help Melo make the playoffs. That's yeah. We started. We had what's his name? Jared Jeffries was like our starting center slash power forward for like 3 years, bro. And that guy is ass. You feel me? He's a great. He got good hustle, but he's not a good basketball player. But he was like our starting power forward slash center for like 3 years, bro. Bad work. You feel me? And you know our point guard woes were widely spoken about, even up until this season. Yeah, I mean it was bad work. It was bad work. So Melo Melo gave us what what he normally do. He averaged like 25 points a game as a Nick. You know what I mean? 25 points plus as a Nick. You feel me? And we got what we expected out of Melo. A guy that's gonna come every night, pause, and put up numbers. You feel me? And put up numbers, and that's exactly what he did. We listen to Iman Shumpert, like what Kev was saying that Knicks fans was trying to shit on Melo is because uh people, oh, he's a ball hog, he's a chuck, he's a ball hog, he don't pass the ball. Bro, that's what Melo was brought here for. And in Melo's own words, he's like, there was never a coach that said, hey, I need you to play a different way. They always encouraged him to go get buckets. So
Mhm.
he's like, that's what I felt like I was brought here for. I'm here to get buckets. And then
Mhm.
you listen to Iman Shumpert talk. He's like, yo, he said it was a game where, at the end of the quarter, he was wide open. He said he seen Melo looked at him and still took the shot over two people. So Shump said he's in the back, he yelling, he mad. And Melo like, yo, calm down, yo. He's like, I saw you, but I work on that shot. He's like, I work on that shot. And Shumpert understood Melo saying like, yo, listen, win or lose, I gotta take the heat. You feel
Mhm.
me? And
That's an.
Melo never threw none of his teammates under the bus. Melo was everybody who played with Melo always talked about how good of a teammate he was and a leader, and he never threw none of his guys under the bus. You feel me? Uh, and and so as soon as y'all build the statue of Joel Embiid, as soon as y'all put
Oh
one in front of the
man!
guard, the Barclays of Joel Embiid, we built one of Jimmy. You know,
Shout out to SRK. I see you, man.
yeah. Since you trying to be funny, uh, Jimmy, at least Jimmy didn't sweep us. You know what I mean? But here we go. Yeah, but Melo, consummate professional, great teammate, great Nick. There's some like spurrings about him having his jersey retired in the garden and hanging up in the rafters. I'm like on the fence about that. Uh, I don't think he did enough as a Nick to have his jersey retired. But if you put his career in totality, yeah, I think you should. Like, if you consider that he was a part of the team and he's just an all-time great player, then yeah, that should. But as a Nick, I don't think he did enough as just a Nick. But his whole career, I think if that might give him the edge to have his jersey retired as a Nick. You know what I mean? Because it ain't too many people. Bernard King and Carmelo Anthony were the guys that they called the King of New York. You know what I mean? That
But Lil King did more than Carmelo Anthony.
actually no, he didn't. Bernard
Bernard
King was
King.
he put up buckets. You feel me? But Bernard King ain't win no championships. You feel
Okay.
me? He put up buckets. He didn't win no championships. You feel me? So it's just it is what it is. Like if they I wouldn't be mad if they retired Melo's jersey.
Yeah, nah, I respect it, but again, no matter who come to your team as a fan, I learned I want to win, and I think it's interesting that Denver didn't go to the finals until they did it with a draft pick. Melo was a draft pick for them. I'm not sure how far he got with them to be exact. Excuse me,
Conference
but
finals.
the conference finals. Okay, the conference finals. And okay, Melo took them to the conference finals. Okay, so that's a draft pick. That's so Murray, he's a draft pick. And again, Jokic deserves a lot of credit. But again, Jokic is a draft pick as well. He's a second round draft pick. And Murray is a draft pick. Those are the two catalysts of the team. And I think that's part of the formula for winning in the NBA. I think you do it from the draft. And again, emphasis on when the CBA hits, you're not going to be able to have all that room in the cap to maneuver all of these high, contract having players. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to develop, which will put heavy emphasis on building from the draft in the first place. But if you're ready to transition, you want me? I was gonna segue to the Denver finals, Denver and Miami. Uh, Talk about who I got in that because I know you said we limited in time, so I don't want to.
Well, you
You know,
can't even say that. Listen, the way I see Miami play these last two games, you can't even say for sure Miami going to the finals yet. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. But what I was going to start with was with Denver. I can't say you're right. I can't say that, and it would be the first time ever somebody came back from 3-0. But I'm not going to cancel them out. They play today, and if Miami wins today, they go to the finals. If they don't, I think Boston got enough. You know what I mean to make it past Miami. If Miami don't win today. But Denver going there, them doing it with two draft picks again shows that the Nets should focus on the draft. We did well with Jared Allen. We did well with, in my opinion, Cam Thomas and even DDJ. He don't get a lot of rec, but he was the leading scorer in the G League, averaging 22 per. And shout out to Jalen Brunson. My point is that they can't knock small guards per se and say they won't be productive in the NBA. You got Simons in Portland. You got examples, even IT in Boston. And look how far he went with them. You know what I mean? When he was playing, there's a few examples. More so that you want to go. The team is going to go with the big guard, but there are examples of small guards being successful in the NBA. So as far as the draft, I feel like. You see again the Denver, they did well with Murray and Jokic. The Nets need to focus on the draft as well. To look at what the teams that are winning are doing. These players are undrafted players, and the players that help Denver get into it is drafted players too. And again, even if it is Boston, they're drafted players with the third pick in 2016 and 2017, which came from the Nets, and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? So again, they built their team around draft picks. So what I'm saying as a fan being observant, I think you should build from the I guess maybe the head of basketball, and then the GM, and then the coach, or build, or more specifically the coach. That's, let me not get too deep in it, but you want to have a good coach. You need a good coach out there and clutch games, 5 minutes and under. A good coach will win you games. A bad coach will lose you games. And one of the better stats Miami led in the regular season, which was winning games in tight situations and clutch games. They were number one in the league. So I said that to say, they went through a lot of injury, but Spo was, able to get them over that hump and get the win, get the W. So I do think that if we see the Miami Heat win today, it's because of Spo's coaching. And I think I give him enough credit to say that they win today. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him enough credit to say they win today. But I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. I don't know who wins. I ain't got no dog in the race, so I'm no horse in the race. So I'm chilling. But I do
I
want to
mean,
see a good game.
I do believe Miami wins today. But I I just want to know why the hell Bam was it? I want the way Bam playing now, I wish he played like that against the Knicks because he playing like shit. Like that last game, he was playing like shit. Like I'm like, why you want to turn into all-star Bam when you played the Knicks, but you want to stink it up when you play in Boston, man? Like that's crazy. But nah,
Right.
I think they won today. Uh, I think I think I don't think Boston's going to shoot the way they did the last game. You feel me? Like they was absolutely in fuego from 3-point range.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, I don't think they're going to shoot that well. But yeah, I think Boston win. I mean Boston. Miami wins today. Jimmy Butler, like, and there's another thing that I was watching during the game, and I was like, yo, it don't make no sense that the Heat is coming down like 3 possessions back to back, and Jimmy Butler didn't touch the ball. That makes no sense to me, right?
Mhm.
That makes no sense to me. And they need to stop comparing Jimmy Butler to Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan would have sent Boston home their last game.
Michael Jordan never had a game 7, and that's some real shit.
Yeah, like Michael Jordan would have sent those guys home that last game, and I didn't see enough, you know, what you would call a killer instinct in Jimmy Butler that last game where he was calling for the ball and making sure that he was the one taking the shots or making the correct play. Uh, and he has to do that today for them to win. Like Jimmy Butler has to be the best player on the basketball court today. He cannot let Jason Tatum outplay him. He cannot let Jalen Brown outplay him. Jimmy Butler absolutely has to be the best basketball player on the court for these guys for them to win.
Mhm.
And I'm not going. I never use injuries as an excuse, but when they start mounting up like how they are against the Heat, you got to start taking notice because Gabe Vincent out, Tyler Hero out, uh, what you call Oladipo out.
Mhm.
Like they really don't have any backcourt players left for real. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
so.
They got to
I
take
think
care of business immediately.
I think that's a big reason too why they lost that last game because they didn't have Gabe Vincent or Tyler Hero to take up some backcourt minutes. Uh,
Mhm. They didn't have a lot
and
of points last game either.
yeah, nah, and they need to take care of the rock. They was turning over the ball. It was stupid turnovers, too lazy passes, like allowing Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart and Jalen Brown to keep on jumping the passing lanes. Like that shouldn't happen more than once or twice a game. And I think I saw like about 5 different times where one of those guys jumped the passing lane and got an easy transition bucket. That shouldn't happen more than once or twice a game. Like one time is I understand, you took your eyes off the prize. Second time is like, all right, things happen. Third time is like, all right, bruh. Like what y'all doing out there? Like,
Mhm.
y'all
But
not paying attention. You feel me? And there got to be a lot more attention to detail, and I think that's why Boston won that last game as well, is because of the turnovers. They was forcing a lot of turnovers. He said Kyle Lowry is trash. The- he's
nah,
washed up. He's washed up, but he serves his purpose. Yeah, I mean,
I think he can't play big minutes. Like
yeah,
he's good in a short span of time. Like he'll come in and give you 15, 20 minutes, but them impactful 15, 20 minutes, you know what I mean? He doing something with that. But if you gotta have him in there for extended amount, like a good 35 plus 40 minutes, that's not Kyle Lowry anymore. That's Toronto Kyle Lowry. I don't think Miami's strength is dependent on Kyle Lowry to play big minutes. You know, they are missing those injured players. And again, as good as a coach as Spo is, they got to do more. And Caleb Martin did step up. He is looking like a more of an offensive threat. But, they seem like they still missing that offense from those sad players in Hero and Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent had like 29 the other day. You know what I'm saying? The other game. He been hooping. You know what I mean? But, I do think that Coach Spo is gonna make it work tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think Bam will be aggressive. I think you gotta put pressure. You gotta put pressure with Bam. Bam gotta be the number one or number two guy on the offensive side of the ball with Gabe Vincent out there to run the offense. And what made them dangerous with Gabe Vincent and what made the combination between him and Bam was that pick and roll. I seen them run that pick and roll even on the Knicks. No, you know what I mean? No pun intended, but that pick and roll between Gabe Vincent and Bam was, that was good brand of basketball. I respect it. And I was wrong. Bam was playing like an all-star. I came on here and saying that Bam wasn't an all-star. He was playing on the all-star level. You know what I mean? So I take that back. You know what I mean? But he didn't show up last game, and it was part of the reason why he got that L. Um, I do expect it to be over tonight, to be honest. And if you're done, I wanted to segue into the refs because I heard the refs said some shit. You heard about the refs? He had a burner account, and he was like, hey, yo, oh, look at them blaming the refs. Like, nah, y'all just lost. Some shit he said. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm talking about, though? Did you
No,
see
no,
that?
I didn't hear that. No.
There was a rep. Remember, you know how KD got a burner account?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's
I
a
get
rep.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah, the refs got a burner account. One of the refs, he had a burner account, and they was saying that his family's Celtic fans, and he was online saying, why y'all blaming the refs? They just lost. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny that a ref got a burner account.
Nah, I think it's a black dude, right?
Yeah.
And like not too long ago during the season, I think early in the season, they found like his wife's like Twitter or something like that, and it was pictures of all of them in Celtics jerseys and stuff like that. And I'm like, he should never be able to ref a Celtic game because clearly he has a bias. And who knows like what refs support which teams? We don't know these things. You feel me? Like uh we don't
That's
know these
funny.
things. But the refs, we can't act like the refs do not affect games and guys be losing. Like, first of all, like I didn't even mention this, but this is a fact. Game 6, the Knicks versus Heat series, there were 3 missed calls in the last 2 minutes against the Heat,
Mhm.
and that came up in the 2-minute report. Now, if this was like a game that we lost by like 15 plus, I'd be like, all right, whatever, right? Like, whatever. But it's a game that was a 1 possession game down to the last 30 seconds of the game. Like, so three missed calls against the Heat that definitely could change the whole landscape of the game. And
Mhm.
for him or anybody to act like the refs don't have a tremendous impact on the game, on why teams lose or win, is cap. You feel me? It's cap. I usually don't use it as an excuse because I feel like, yo, you should handle business anyway. You feel me? Like it shouldn't even be that close of a game for it to be in the hands of the refs. But when it is, you know what I mean, they having a tremendous effect. You feel me? And I do think it needs to be some kind of repercussions when these things happen.
Mhm.
Scott Foster was one of the refs that he was the ref crew chief that game 6 against the Knicks versus Heat, and they fumbled the bag that game. And then game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, he's the crew chief of that game too. So like,
Mhm.
not only there's no repercussions, he's still making bread because they get paid for games they ref.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
playoffs.
so
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
like
like, yo,
overtime.
you fumble the game, and then you get rewarded by being able to ref the Eastern Conference Finals game 1, which is crazy to me, which should
Mhm.
not be allowed, which it should be some kind of repercussions for these referees, man. It has to be because they've been operating with impunity for too long. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. We spoke on this prior, and I was adding to that saying I feel like they should be rewarded too. The ones that call it cleanest games, they get rewarded with working in the playoffs and in the finals. Let it be levels to this shit. Feel me? Let it be levels to this. No, you a G League ref. You know what I mean? Stay where you at. You done miss X amount of calls in the NBA. You deserve to be in the G League. You don't deserve a ref in the NBA. It should be levels just like it's levels with coaches and players. I think the same for refs. I think the refs should get awards, and I think they should get penalized as well, just to keep the game as clean as possible. It's nothing more entertaining than seeing competition, and that don't always come from the same teams. And I am glad, trust me, I wish the Brooklyn Nets were going to the finals, but I am glad it is not the Lakers, and I don't want it to be Boston. I don't want it to be Boston for the said reason. I want it to be the Denver Nuggets because they're an ABA team as well as the Nets. It's Spurs, the Nets, the Nuggets, and the Pacers. So I want to see the Nuggets win it. But I like Jimmy Butler, so it'd be cool if he wanted to. But I got no dog in the race. I want to see great. I want to say great band. I want to see great basketball. So case in point is, I want to enjoy it, and it don't have to be the same teams. I'm glad Miami going to the. Well, I can't say it. I don't want to jump the gun, but Denver going to the finals for the first time is exciting basketball. There's 9 other teams in the NBA that never been to the finals in the Brooklyn Nets. I mean the championship. You know what I'm saying? Won the championships. Excuse me. 20 teams won the NBA championship, and 10 hasn't. Denver is one of the teams that hasn't, and Denver makes it now 9. This is their first finals appearance, so you know what I'm saying. I can't say they're going to win it, so it's still 10 teams. But it's nice to see it changing. It's 75 years. You got for the most part the same teams dominating, and yeah, there's going to be legacies and dynasties in basketball. I get that, but it's nice to see a team that rolls from concrete, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a team get it out the mud. I like to see teams built out of draft. And again, I'm going to say this again. I want to be a fan that sees my team get a draft a player, and that player does so well that he wins a championship with my team and they retire his jersey. As a fan, I want to see that in my lifetime. And I also want to see us win a championship in my fan lifetime. So again, I don't like the whole same teams just going to the finals all the time. It's refreshing to see Denver Nuggets in the finals, and they play good basketball all year. I wouldn't say that's a team that the quote unquote NBA wanted to win or the refs got them there. We played the Nuggets and it was close both times. You know what I'm saying? When we played them in the regular season. What about y'all? When y'all played the Nuggets in the regular season, how they go versus them?
I don't even remember. Be perfectly honest, I don't even remember. I didn't even check that. Like it was 82 games, son.
Yeah. I remember the Denver game because it went down to the wire and Jokic took a 3 and he missed it, and that's why we won. I think we won twice, but I gotta check. But I know we won that one game because that game was wow, and that stream after that was live. I remember that. But yeah, man, that's one of the things I want to see as a fan. I don't know what we're going to do with this year's draft, if Sean Marks is going to take these draft players seriously, because to me, that's the main difference in these teams that are successful. The teams that are successful got their draft players getting busy. You know what I'm saying? They draft players getting busy. So we'll see.
The Nuggets both times we played them.
You say y'all beat them both times?
Yeah. One by 6, the other by 3.
Okay. Yeah, see, they're a competitive team, man. They play all the way down to the end. They probably one of the better clutch teams in the NBA last season as well, where they know what to do in the fourth quarter, and you got to credit that to the coach, the X's and O's that they draw up, the discipline on the play and just completing the play. You know what I mean? Because sloppy basketball puts you in a bad situation. Case in point, you got talented players like Luka and Kyrie. I remember in the fourth quarter, there was a situation where they didn't even get a shot up. These are supposed to be some of the best offensive players in the NBA, and they couldn't get a shot up at the end of the fourth quarter in a crucial regular season game to help them seed or not get in the playoffs. But the case in point, I heard they was tanking anyway, but I don't know. But that being said, I credit the coaches of the Denver Nuggets. Say what you want about Joe Mazzulla. A lot of people go on the fence about Joe Mazzulla and, saying Ime is way better. And you might see some advantages that Ime has, but he has more experience. I think Joe Mazzulla is the youngest coach in the NBA right now. And he's versus one of the most, decorated coaches. And I'm trying to look for a word, you know what I mean? One of the better coaches in Spo, and he going up against that. And, credit to Spo, they went up 3-0. So I won't say they could afford to lose those 2 games, but trust me, them going up 3-0 definitely put them in a good situation. And again, emphasis on the coaching. But yeah, man, I think we go with big men in the draft, and if we don't, we got Naz Reid, Thomas Bryant on Denver Nuggets, who's not getting no rec. I say put him in to see what's going on with him, and Mo Bamba. The Nets fans is on the fence about Mo Bamba, I mentioned Thomas Bryant. I ain't getting no real feedback about that. And Nas Reed seeming to be a Nets fan favorite for us signing in the offseason. But we'll see. But
Uh,
yeah, but we'll see, man. What goes on later, man. Kev
what
said
you
the
gonna call
Celtics win tonight.
it? Joe Mazzulla's playing by house money because on paper the Celtics is definitely the more talented team, but they're getting outworked and losing. You feel me? Like I honestly don't even think this series was supposed to be much of a challenge. If Joe Mazzulla was like that as a coach for the Celtics, I think the Celtics should have ran through the what you call it, the Heat, but he's getting out coached, and that's what it really comes down to. Because Jason Tatum is easily like top five players in the NBA right now. Uh, Jalen Brown might be in top 10, top 15, depending on how you want to look at it, right? Uh, and then their supporting cast is really good. The Derek White kid, good. You got the sixth man of the year coming off the bench in Brogdon. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you got Al Horford, who's still playing at a pretty high level for his stage of his career. You got one of the best defensive perimeter guys, and Marcus Smart on your team. Like, it's like they on paper, the Celtics are a way better team. You feel me? On paper, the Celtics are a
Yeah.
way better team, and and it shouldn't to me it shouldn't be close. But they're probably going to lose because Missoula doesn't have the coaching experience to to keep up with Spo. I think if Ime was coaching, this would have been over. Celtics would have won already.
Right. Before
Yeah.
you go, three things I want to highlight. Uh, it seemed like Spo is the better coach, right? But the Celtics got the better player. And the third thing is who wanted more. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching the Celtics these last two to see if Miami was gonna close out. They look that first game where they won, they look like y'all not gonna do it. You're not like this. Y'all not gonna do us like that. You know what I'm saying? And then that next game, they just like you said, came out, they could not miss. If they tried, they could not miss. And even when they did miss, they was getting offensive rebounds. It was a 15-point game going into the second quarter. I think they kept it from 15 to 20 points for the most of the game. They had the pace. It looked like a wire to wire win. But Miami, as much as I watched Law. Shout out to my guy Big Tone. He said, they don't feel no pressure, but I think they should. I think the Miami Heat should feel some type of pressure. This is a must win. Y'all don't want to go back to Boston. All facts. Don't want to put as good as a coach as Spo is. One thing I know about fans is in the playoffs, they shake the building. And you don't want to put a role. Y'all already beat the odds far as home court advantage. Y'all went up 3-0. So y'all won that home court advantage. And you keep home court advantage by winning tonight, which you're going to need. And you don't want to go to game 7 for two reasons. Because even if you do win game 7, June 1st is when the finals start. You want to get that extra rest. You understand, before you go out in Denver. And far as home court advantage, it seemed like the Denver Nuggets got the best home court advantage because everybody seems to mention the air up there and how the air is thin, and that might play a big part into Denver winning those first two games. And you don't want to go down 0-2. I seen that stat too. It's a little better than never coming back from down 0-2, but the odds are against you. You want to go in there and get that split. That will be a win for Miami if they win tonight. So, and with the Celtics, they need this whole thing, and maybe they take that momentum into Denver by winning the next two games, and that's them winning 4 straight. And we'll see, man. We'll see. But again,
I think if the Celtics win today, they're gonna win the series. I don't think they're gonna win today, but if they win today,
nah,
I think they're gonna win the series. Because it's too much. That then it's too much. It's gonna be too much pressure on Miami. Like, you got the probably they might be the first team in NBA history to drop a 3-0 lead. Like, I don't know the record on that. You feel me? Now,
0 to 150.
So now you got the pressure of being on the wrong side of history. You're on the road, and like I said, that's a talented team on the other end. It's not like you're playing against bums. That's a really talented team. So
Mhm.
yeah, like they gotta win tonight. You feel me? And I do agree that Bam has to step up, man, because Bam was missing some easy ass shots that last game. I'm like, he looking like a straight up bum right now. What's up? But he did start to heat up, in the second half, in the third quarter. I think he scored like 8 points back to back.
Mhm.
Uh, but he gotta be better, and Jimmy gotta be more assertive. He gotta be more assertive, looking for his offense. And Jimmy Butler sold me that last game. I needed him to get 20. He only got 14. He fucked up my parlay. Fuck you, Jimmy Butler. Um, yeah, but yeah. Cause I'm about to get up out of here.
The
I
game,
gotta go.
July 1st.
Huh? Oh
July
yeah.
1st, we trying to hoop.
So yeah, July 1st. It looked like we back at Dumbo Park. For the Knicks versus Nets, who run the city pickup games. You
Word.
feel me? So pull up. I'm gonna be dropping. We should be dropping the flyer in the very near future. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
y'all know the vibes. It's gonna be at like 3 p.m. Yeah, I mean, so we not out there when the sun is at its highest, the dying. You feel me? So we aiming for like 3 p.m. You pull up, show out. Let's get out. And Barry could take this L that he been begging for so very long.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, yeah, good vibes, man. Ask anybody who was at the last one; they'll tell you that the vibes are immaculate. We have a good time, and yeah, come out and get some wreck, man. Yeah, I gotta bounce because I gotta go to work.
Yeah, nah, we appreciate y'all. We'll have a longer show next week. We'll start on time, hopefully. Again, happy birthday to T Tom and Kev. Shout out to all the Nets fans. We the best fans. And man, July 1st, again, we hooping, man. We back out here, man. It was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? But again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Peace.